Welcome to the ultimate sign customization guide for Valheim 2024. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I hope you're good and great and fantastic. Today is the ultimate guide to adjusting and customizing your signs. I'm going to go through all of the different things you can do for signs and how they can end up looking, and there is a lot of very interesting things. So we're going to start off with the really simple parts. Color. You can change the color of your sign by just using a less than sign, color equals, and then using one of like the primary colors, you know, like the rainbow colors. So you've got red, orange, yellow, black, white, green, blue, purple, and you can do that really easily like so. The text will disappear once you put it in, and then you can put some text in, and there you go. You have it colored. Now that is not the limitation of color though. In fact, you can use hex codes. So if you, for instance, want a specific shade of red, in this case, I'm going to go for a hex code here that I'm just copying and pasting, and that is hashtag C42108, which is a lovely red color. And then I close the less than sign on it. There you have the red that we were talking about. So you can use any hex code whatsoever. If you're looking for specific hex codes, Google is your friend. There are so many of them, and you can find pretty much exactly the color you want. Also, if you have a color picking tool, like through Photoshop or Illustrator or GIMP or Affinity or one of the many other programs that allows you to pick, then you can take an image and pick a color out of it and get the hex code to use. Sorted. Now, of course, when it comes to these colors, you can also stack them up. As you can see over here, you can actually stack multiple colors up on a single sign, not a problem. And you do that just by putting your color code in and then putting another color code in. So here I'm going to go color equals green, and we've got more letters, and then I'm going to go color equals blue and more letters, and there you go. Now there is a letter limit on signs, and so you will find that you start meeting that letter limit on signs very quickly when you start using a lot of these sort of like HTML code bits, right? So when you're adding all these different code bits, they do consume the letter limit on signs, and so you find that actually how much you can type does get limited, unfortunately. As you can see here with the pride sign, I am missing a color in the pride sign, the sixth color. I was planning on doing an exclamation mark with the last color on it, the violet, but unfortunately I ran out of letters on the sign, as an example. But that's how you do colors. It really is as simple as that. Now, one of the awesome other things is that if you're on Windows, then the Windows emoji menu is accessible from in the game. You just hit Windows key and full stop, and there is your emoji menu. And you can grab any emoji and you can place it in to your sign just by clicking on it, whatever you want really, and it works. As you can see there, I did put a lot in there, but all of the emojis appear on the sign. These emojis also respond to all of the other things. So you can change the color of them individually or as a whole. You can add other formatting to them, like size. For instance, if I come in here and I go size equals 100, this is going to be very big, just as a heads up. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go size equals 30. And bam. The emojis appear in the sky. As you can see, they get rather large and they start floating. Again, another trick. You can play ahead with size equals and a number to start putting things floating in the air, to do all sorts of things. Perhaps if we go to size 2. There we go. Look at that, size 2. Size 1 is the normal size that is default on signs. So when you're looking at putting sizing in, size 1 is the default on signs. Anything bigger than that is going to be larger than what you expected. But there you go. So you've got colors, you've got emojis, but there is still so much more that you can do. Next up, we have italics. So just less than sign, I close with a greater than sign, and anything you type is now in italics. And this, of course, can be combined with color. So, for instance, we can go color equals green there, and now it's both in green and in italics. Next up, we have Strikethrough. Strikethrough is a really fun one for two reasons, and one of that is because you can play with the color of the Strikethrough. So, less than sign S, close your greater than sign, and any text you type will have Strikethrough, as you can see here. And you can see it here as well. Strike with a black line through it, but also strike with a green line through it. Now, Strikethrough, the S in Strikethrough does like play with color. So if I add a color before the Strikethrough sign, so instance, I go green, then the Strikethrough we get is green. If I go ahead and add the Strikethrough sign before the color, then the Strikethrough text, then the line is black. And if you want to go really extreme, if you go color equals blue and then add the Strikethrough and then go color equals red, you get a blue Strikethrough line and red text, which is fantastic. Awesome. Following that, you have underlining. Underlining has the exact same rules as Strikethrough. So you can use, sorry, I'll show you that again. Open with less than, U, close with greater than, and your text is underlined, like so. And again, like the Strikethrough sign, you can place color before it for the line to for the line to take the color. You can place the color after it for only the text to take the color, and you can put two colors in if you want to have two specific different colors for your item, which is wonderful. And you can see it here. We've got blue text with a black line. We've got red text with a green line, just using the color tools. Next, we have Markup. Now, Markup doesn't work very well, as you can see right here. So the way that you do mark is you just do less than sign, mark, close. And then whatever text you write has supposed to have just a yellow highlighted background. But as you can see, Valheim at the moment, and something's happened, because this didn't used to be the case. This did used to work. Something's happened at the moment that is causing markup text to behave badly. The text sort of flickers, and you also get this weird green box instead of the yellow box that you're supposed to have. But it should be fixed at some point in time. One might hope anyway. Then we also have Sub and Sup. So if you do Sup, then any text you write will be at the top. If you want to do subtext, you do less than sign, sub, greater than sign, goodbye world, like so. And as you can see, that's now aligned to either the top or the bottom, depending on whether you use sup or sub. Now, unfortunately, having them both on the same sign is a bit weird, because if I do some subtext here, and I do hello world, like that, then we've got that. If I then add some subtext, it will shrink based on the words that were previously on the sign. It will become subtext of goodbye world. And again, if I do subtext again, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, based on the previous word. You can use line breaks to separate the lines out. So we use a line break there, and then we do sub. As you can see, it still shrinks the text into being subtext sized to the word above, or the writing above. The subtext tag overwrites any size you put in. So my general recommendation is if you're wanting to use both subtext and subtext in the same place, then you just go ahead and you overlap a couple of signs. So the line break is how you separate your signs, the lines on the signs, really easily. And of course, you can do things like having a title with emoji before, or all sorts of other things. That is the ultimate guide to signs. But I have one last little trick for you, and this is a fantastic thing figured out by a community member who told me about it and told me sort of generally how to recreate it, and I had some fun making it work. So let's go see. Yes, that's right. With sign customization, you can put a rainbow in your world, and it's actually incredibly simple. So all you want to do is put a signpost down where you want the rainbow to be, as you can see it right here. And on this signpost, you can see that they're all completely blank because of course the letters are all out here. You're going to stack 7 signs vertically on top of each other, and you're going to start from the bottom and work your way up. So at the bottom sign, you're going to put color equals red, size equals 1800, and then you're going to put the circle emoji in play. So color equals red, size equals 1800, and in circle emoji. And there is our red band right there. The orange band is almost exactly the same. So you come to the sign and you just go color equals orange, size, and this time we're going to go down by an increment of 200, 1600, and then we're going to add the circle emoji. And you're going to want to do that going up the signs in the order of the rainbow. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And you're going to go down in size by 200 increments. So 1800, 1600, 1400, 1200, 1000, 800, 600. Now, admittedly, you might actually be able to squish them all together a bit more with some playing around, but I quite like the uniform gaps between each line. I think it looks really, really good. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that like button, consider subscribing, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified of my new videos. I do stream Monday to Friday on Twitch, where I do all sorts of Valheim content. We start at 1 PM BST. The link is in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.